Hello everyone, welcome to our podcast for English learners. My name is Jack.
And I'm Elena. We're here to talk about an important topic today, problems in cities.
That's right. Cities are great places to live because they have a lot of opportunities, like jobs, schools, entertainment, but they also have many problems.
Yes, big cities can be exciting, but they can also be difficult places to live. So today, we will talk about some common problems people face in cities. At the end, we will review some important keywords which are used in podcast.
Let's start with something everyone notices: traffic. In big cities, the streets are full of cars, buses, and motorcycles. People spend hours stuck in traffic.
Yes, traffic jams can be really stressful. People are late for work, late for school, and they waste so much time just waiting in their cars.
And with all those cars on the road, there's also a lot of pollution. The air in big cities can be dirty because of car fumes and factory smoke.
That's true. Air pollution can make people sick. Some people have breathing problems because of the bad air quality.
Another big problem in cities is noise. There are so many people, so many cars, and so many buildings under construction. It can be really loud.
Yes, and noise can make it hard to sleep or concentrate. People feel tired and stressed when the city is always noisy.
Another common issue is the cost of living. Cities are expensive. Rent is high, food is expensive, and many people struggle to afford their daily needs.
That's true. Many people have to live in small apartments because they can't afford bigger places. Some people even move far away from the city center to find cheaper homes.
And when people live far away, they have to travel long distances every day. That means even more time in traffic.
Exactly. And let's not forget about overcrowding. Cities are full of people, and sometimes there are too many people in one place.
Yes, crowded streets, crowded buses, crowded markets, it can feel stressful. And when a city is overcrowded, it can be hard to find jobs and housing.
Speaking of jobs, unemployment is another big problem. Some people move to the city to find work, but sometimes there aren't enough jobs for everyone.
And when people don't have jobs, they don't have money for food, rent, or health care. It's a serious problem.
That's right. And sometimes unemployment can lead to other issues like crime.
Yes, crime is another problem in big cities. Some places are dangerous, and people have to be careful when they go out, especially at night.
Theft, robbery, and violence can make people feel unsafe in their own neighborhoods.
Exactly. And that's why security is very important in cities. People need good police services and safe public spaces.
Another issue we should talk about is homelessness. Some people don't have a place to live, and they have to sleep on the streets.
That's a very sad problem. Some people lose their homes because they don't have jobs or because rent is too high.
And many homeless people don't have access to healthcare, food, or clean water.
Yes, and cities need to find ways to help them. There should be shelters and support programs for homeless people.
That's true. We've talked about so many problems: traffic, pollution, noise, high cost of living, overcrowding, unemployment, crime, and homelessness.
Yes, and there are even more problems we can discuss. But cities also have solutions to these problems.
Exactly, and that's something important to think about. How can we make cities better places to live?
That's a great question. How can we make cities better places to live? There are many possible solutions, but it's not always easy to fix these problems.
Yes, but cities can improve if the government and people work together. Let's start with traffic. What can we do to reduce traffic jams?
One solution is public transportation. If more people use buses, trains, and subways, there will be fewer cars on the road.
That's true, but public transportation needs to be good. Buses and trains should be clean, fast, and not too expensive.
Exactly. If public transport is slow or uncomfortable, people won't use it. Cities should invest in better buses and trains to encourage people to stop using their cars so much.
Another idea is cycling. Some cities have special bike lanes to make it safer for people to ride bicycles.
Yes, and biking is not only good for reducing traffic, but it also helps keep people healthy.
That's right. Now, let's talk about pollution. We already said that traffic is one reason for air pollution. What can cities do to improve air quality?
One solution is using electric cars instead of gasoline cars. Electric cars don't produce pollution, so the air stays cleaner.
Yes, and planting more trees in cities can also help. Trees clean the air and make the city look more beautiful.
Good point. Green spaces, like parks and gardens, also give people a place to relax. That helps with another problem, stress.
Yes, many people feel stressed because of noise, pollution, and crowded places. Parks can be a quiet place for people to escape city life for a while.
Exactly. But what about the cost of living? How can we make cities more affordable?
One idea is building more affordable housing. If there are more houses and apartments, prices will go down.
That makes sense. And governments can also help by controlling rent prices so landlords don't charge too much.
Yes, because when rent is too high, many people struggle to pay for other things like food and healthcare.
And speaking of healthcare, cities need good hospitals and clinics so that people can get medical help when they need it.
Yes, and healthcare should be affordable, so even poor people can see a doctor when they are sick.
That's very important. We've talked about a lot of solutions, but there are still more problems we need to discuss.
Yes, there are still more problems to talk about. One big issue in cities is unemployment. Many people move to cities to find jobs, but sometimes there aren't enough jobs for everyone.
That's true. And when people don't have jobs, they can't afford rent, food, or healthcare. It makes life very difficult.
So, how can cities create more jobs? One idea is to support small businesses. If people can start their own businesses, they can make money and even hire other people.
Yes. Governments can also offer job training programs to help people learn new skills. If people have more skills, they can find better jobs.
That's a great idea. Another problem we should talk about is crime. In some cities, crime is a big problem, and people don't feel safe, especially at night.
Yes, crime can include things like theft, robbery, or violence. People need to feel safe in their neighborhoods.
One way to reduce crime is to have good street lighting. Dark streets can be dangerous, so better lighting can help.
That's true, and more police officers can also make a city safer. But it's important that the police are fair and helpful to all people.
Yes, when people trust the police, they feel safer and more comfortable asking for help.
Another way to reduce crime is by providing good education. When children get a good education, they have better chances in life and are less likely to get involved in crime.
That's very important. Education helps people find jobs and have a better future. Every child should have the chance to go to school.
And not just school, cities should also have libraries and community centers where people can learn and grow.
That's a great point. Now, let's talk about homelessness. Many people in big cities don't have a home and have to sleep on the streets.
Yes, and homelessness can happen for many reasons. Some people lose their jobs, some have health problems, and some can't afford high rent.
So, what can cities do to help? One idea is to build more homeless shelters. Shelters give people a place to sleep and stay safe.
And it's not just about a place to sleep. People also need support, things like job training, mental health care, and food programs.
That's right. If cities can help homeless people get back on their feet, they have a better chance of finding jobs and homes again.
Yes, and we should all remember to be kind to homeless people. Everyone deserves respect and help when they need it.
That's true. We've talked about so many problems in cities and some solutions, but there's still more to discuss.
Yes, there are still more things to discuss. Another big problem in cities is waste management. Cities produce a lot of garbage every day, and if it's not managed well, it can cause pollution and bad living conditions.
That's true. In some places, you see trash on the streets, in parks, and even in rivers. It makes the city look dirty and can be dangerous for people's health.
One solution is recycling. If people separate their waste into different categories, plastic, paper, glass, and food waste, less garbage will go to landfills.
Yes, recycling helps the environment, and cities should have more recycling bins so people can use them easily.
And another idea is to reduce waste. For example, people can use reusable bags instead of plastic bags and bring their own water bottles instead of buying plastic ones.
That's a great point. Now, let's talk about noise pollution. Cities are often very loud. There are cars honking, people talking, construction work, and loud music.
Yes, noise pollution can be stressful and even bad for health. Some people find it hard to sleep because of all the noise in the city.
So, what can cities do to reduce noise? One idea is to have special quiet zones near hospitals and schools where loud noises are not allowed.
That's a good idea. And better urban planning can help too. If parks and green spaces are built in the right places, they can absorb sound and make the city quieter.
Yes, and public transport can also help. If more people take buses and trains, there will be fewer cars on the road, which means less noise from traffic.
That's true. Now, let's talk about something related: overcrowding. Some cities have too many people, and it becomes difficult to find housing, jobs, and space to live comfortably.
Yes, when cities are overcrowded, public transportation is full, streets are packed with people, and services like hospitals and schools become too busy.
One way to fix this problem is to develop smaller towns and cities so people don't all move to big cities for jobs.
That's a smart solution. If smaller cities have good jobs, schools, and hospitals, people won't need to move to big cities.
Exactly. And another way is to build better roads and transport systems so people can live a little outside the city but still travel easily for work.
Yes, good transportation helps people live in less crowded areas, but still be connected to the city.
We've covered many problems that cities face, but before we finish, we should look at some important words we've used and explain them.
Yes, let's go over some of the important points we've discussed. Cities have many problems, including traffic congestion, air pollution, high living costs, unemployment, crime, homelessness, waste management, noise pollution, and overcrowding. But we also talked about some solutions, like improving public transport, creating job opportunities, supporting recycling, reducing waste, and building better housing and infrastructure.
That's right. Cities can be challenging places to live, but with good planning and effort, we can make them better for everyone. Now, let's take a look at some key words we used today and explain them.
The first word is traffic congestion. This means when there are too many cars on the road, and it causes delays. For example, traffic congestion in the city makes it difficult to get to work on time.
Next is pollution. This is when air, water, or land is dirty and unsafe because of chemicals, waste, or smoke. For example, air pollution is a big problem in many cities because of car and factory smoke.
Another important word is unemployment. This means when people don't have jobs. For example, many people move to cities to find jobs because they don't want to face unemployment.
We also talked about crime, which means illegal activities like stealing or violence. For example, crime rates are lower in cities where there are more job opportunities and education programs.
Another word is homelessness. This happens when people don't have a home and live on the streets. For example, many cities are building shelters to help reduce homelessness.
We also mentioned waste management, which is how a city controls and disposes of garbage. For example, good waste management includes recycling and keeping the streets clean.
Another key word is noise pollution. This is when there are too many loud sounds, like traffic, music, or construction. For example, people in big cities often complain about noise pollution at night.
We also talked about overcrowding, which means too many people living in one place, making it difficult to find space or resources. For example, overcrowding in big cities makes housing very expensive.
And finally, public transport. This means buses, trains, or subways that people use to travel instead of cars. For example, good public transport can help reduce traffic and pollution in cities.
Great! We hope today's discussion helped you learn new words and understand more about city problems and solutions.
Yes, thank you for listening. If you enjoyed this podcast, please leave a comment, and share it with your friends and family.
And don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more conversations to help you learn English.
We'll see you next time. Take care and have a great day.
Goodbye, everyone.